Hey, it's been a while. Going to go over tech news. First off, Gamers Nexus. What company would be stupid enough to put marketing stuff on their website using Gamers Nexus when there was no connection at all? That would be Mac's son. So they literally put a photo of him on there and said collaboration. His response: take us off your marketing page immediately. We bought that card ourselves. Not only are we not part of your marketing, but we had zero to do with anything related. Yeah, not a collaboration. They bought it. The one person you could go after, the one person you could try to use. You use Gamers Nexus. That's great. It's great. Oh, look, this other person saw they're using AI photos in their website too, I guess. Yeah, maybe that'll help them get a clue without being totally destroyed by Gamers Nexus, kind of like NZXT. Related to that, NZXT scam. This was a good video. I enjoyed it. It's an hour long, going over all the crap that NZXT has been doing with their rental program. Shows these influencers basically targeting children and people that are not well off. And this whole thing is that you rent a computer, you can never buy it. The sheer craziness of that and everything else in this video. Check it out. I mean, I've personally never had any interest in renting equipment. I think it's a bad idea. Related to that, I'm going to do a PC build, hopefully coming up. Since 2016 or so that I've been using this current computer. It's a i7-6700 CPU. It works. It's fine. It functions. I'm going to go with an interesting direction on it. But yeah, it should be fun. So don't mess with Gamers Nexus. Don't mess with Gamers Nexus. Companies, are you stupid? I'm hoping that Gamers Nexus has security and stuff now or something. Because I'm slightly worried for them at this point with all the crappy company stuff they've exposed. The CEO of Intel has retired. It's been quite the journey. I feel like he was retired before they brought him back, and then he did his thing, and Intel's not in a great situation, but maybe he did what he could. Maybe the face of a company just can't do that much to really help out a company. But yeah, so if you want to read that, go for it. I don't know if it's good or bad. Related to that, previously, these are the type of things that he was doing. Letting 15,000 roles go, things like that. Lowering headcount, all the gross terms related to people in companies. Yeah, so whether that was him or the necessity or what, who knows. Intel Battlemage. I love the name. It sounds cool. I'm into D&D stuff. Very cool. Intel, please, hopefully this works out. And guess what? It's going to come out very, very soon. I'm recording this on the 2nd. It's coming out on the 3rd, so I should just edit this right now. We'll see if I make it. Someone already leaked a bit of information about it, so it's already existing in reviewers' hands. Intel ARC B580 Steel Legend 12GB OC. 12 gigabytes of RAM for a 580 card is an improvement, because I'm pretty sure that card had 8 gigabytes. I think there was a lower card than this also rumored, and it was 10 gigabytes of RAM. So not terrible. We'll see how much it costs and how much it performs, and if it's quirky and still has issues with drivers and things. We'll see. They've been improving. I really hope Intel GPUs and actually CPUs improve and become better and functional and efficient and everything else, because I want them to succeed. It's nice to have a company in the United States that is fully capable, but obviously Intel is using TSMC and such for probably their GPUs and their current CPUs now. Not great, but at least it's something. Steam Hardware Survey for November. A lot of cool information here. As you can see, NVIDIA is obviously got a lot of the GPU market. I'm part of the problem. I have a 4060, and before that I had 1060 that I still have, and will use once I do a new build, put that back in my old build. Here we've got the processor by manufacturer. AMD looks like they're getting more of a share in this specific survey. VR headsets. I mean, if you're into VR, I've used it a little bit, but just really haven't got into it much. Meta has been really pushing their Quest series these days, and it looks like it's growing because of that. Here's a list of more information. In this case, we go to GPUs. 3060 is topping the charts as the most used, but it's going down slightly. I have a 4060, that's right here, and it's actually going down as well. Let's go down the list. The TI, what's increasing? Some 1650. Okay, that's going up. Laptops going up. 3060, 3050 is going up as well. That's a thing. AMD Radeon graphics. I assume that's integrated graphics. So we're talking maybe Steam Deck type thing, or whatever those Asus hooty-doos. AMD Radeon graphics. AMD Radeon graphics. Scroll down. Yeah, it's not looking good. The closest thing here, we've got the 6600. 0.8%. Jeez. And the 580, 57XT, 57. Not amazing showing from AMD here. They're obviously the 8000 series being rumored. Not going to bother looking at it at this point. But if we scroll all the way down, and here it is, Intel ARC is on the chart. 0.18%. Hopefully this goes up with Battlemage. We'll see. VRAM, I have 8, sadly. I wish my card had more VRAM, but that is one of the highest percentages. These GPU companies insist on not putting a lot of VRAM in their GPUs. I honestly think it's cost reasons, clearly, but also they don't want to put too much VRAM because that extends the life, the shelf life of a GPU by having more VRAM in it. I'm part of the problem, like I said, with the 4060 that I bought. Please don't do what I did. Buy a GPU with more VRAM. I think that's pretty much it. I'll link this in the description if you want to check it out. Super cool seeing all this information. Instagram, Threads, whatever the heck it is. I think he's the CEO of Instagram. He seems like a cool guy. He's talking about little updates to Threads. Now, why is the CEO of Instagram having to deal with Threads? That's a good question, right? I made a little response on one of my accounts. Integrate Threads into Instagram as a profile tab and feed option. So for consuming and viewing, makes sense, right? You know, you would think they would do that. You'd think they would have learned from IGTV, if you even remember that thing. At the point, it had its own app. They also tried to integrate it into Instagram. Will Threads go the same way as IGTV? We'll see. I think they should have Instagrammed it to the degree that it was just Instagram. Saw on video cards that the 4090 prototype, some random person found it in a junk pile or something. Sure, whatever. Kind of cool, but they like Pringles. That's cool as well, I guess. I don't know how they found it in a junk bin. You would think something like this would have been destroyed if it were actually being thrown out. And apparently it's just a 4090, but they say down here that the person's going to send it to Gamers Nexus. So that should be an interesting video at the very least. That's pretty much it. I'm sure there's a lot of other news and stuff that is interesting in tech. It seems decently exciting at the moment. On the community tab here of this channel, I've been posting a little bit. I don't have a ton of time for videos. This is an old photo back when you had to have one core, one CPU. So I bought a MSI dual CPU motherboard, bought these Athlon chips, and then crossed one of the cut bridges yeah, they worked in multi-core once you crossed that with a pencil and a little bit of tape or something to make sure it didn't bridge anything else. So that was cool. That was a neat computer at the time. I eventually gave it to a friend. Things down here. So this is an old laptop I had. Sony Vaio with hard OCP, if you remember hard OCP. They still kind of exist. The forums still exist. I don't go on there much. But yeah, cool website. That was early tech. And here's another thing. It was the Abbott KT7A RAID motherboard and just some random computer. I think that was an ATI or maybe, yeah, ATI graphics card and a TV tuner, stuff like that. Physical hard drives in the computer. That's a thing. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here's CRT. Yeah, I built that ugly looking desk. And I think that's a praline cookie or something. Yeah, a lot of old computers that I had at one point or another. That gray case is an Antec case. That was a pretty nice case. Antec still exists. They make interesting cases. I think they're still pretty decent from what I've seen. Also, if you're into vintage stuff, on my photography channel, I have a walkthrough of an older vintage computer festival, Midwest, and I actually have footage and stuff from the latest one, but I don't think I've edited it at that point. I just have so many projects. Yeah, so if you like that type of stuff, check out this stuff. Thanks. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this update on the tech channel. See ya, Scott of Tech Expose, Photography Bonsai. I have a few other things too. See ya.